In 1976, the first Golf with Gran Turismo injection, or GTI for short, rolled off the assembly line at Volkswagen. 36 years and 1.8 million GTIs later, the GTI Convertible is making its debut.
Endlich mag man vielleicht denken, weil
Our car tester Sascha Knapp thinks it's about time. The GTI Convertible comes in a familiar plaid look. It has the same 155 kilowatt engine as the regular GTI, with a base price of around 31,000 euros. Some might ask why a high-performance car needs to be a convertible. But Sascha Knapp likes it. The car is powerful and fast, but you can also cruise leisurely in it with the top down. Our car tester is sold. The GTI Convertible accelerates to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.3 seconds. Top speed, 237, making it the fastest Golf convertible ever. It guzzles 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers. But fuel economy is not why one buys a GTI. Convertible or not, GTIs are powered by a 2-liter front-wheel drive engine with 155 kilowatts and a maximum 280 newton-meters of torque. All Golf GTIs come with a choice of a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed DSG automatic. The GTI's roof opens and closes fully automatically in just 9.5 seconds. Very fast. The front is dominated by the red-framed honeycombed grille and the model's name. The GTI stands on 17-inch light alloy wheels with a Detroit design. Aside from adding the obligatory automatically extending rollover protection, the underbody, sills, doors, and side elements have been modified. 2 chrome-plated tailpipes dominate the rear. The rear lights have new LED strips. Hendrik Mühe from Volkswagen's product marketing division says the company started with the standard hardtop GTI. Then the existing VW Golf convertible was turned into a GTI by adding parts, including a new engine and changing the interior. The GTI convertible is 12 millimeters longer and 9 millimeters taller than the hardtop GTI. The width hasn't changed. The convertible is 140 kilograms heavier than the normal GTI. But that doesn't make the car any less fun to drive. Inside, the large GPS navigator, operated by a touchscreen, is a definite plus. The letters GTI on the steering wheel underscore the car's sportiness. The interior seems well crafted overall. Snug bucket front seats with plaid upholstery brighten up the black interior. The front seats have plenty of room, the back gets a bit tight. The GTI convertible hits the market at the end of June, though the next Golf generation will be unveiled in 3 months at the Auto Salon in Paris. But it will be quite a while before it has a convertible version. The Golf GTI convertible starts at 31,350 euros in Germany. That's about 3,500 euros more than the closed GTI, and about 5,000 euros more than the second most powerful Golf convertible, with its 118 kilowatt engine. A bicycle, and a smart car. But these are both smarts with a difference. Let's start with a smart Fortwo compact car. From the concept in 1996 to series production beginning in 1998. It's been on the road for some 14 years. So it's high time an electric version was introduced with an 18 kilowatt-hour battery. This one is for the environmentally conscious. A Brazilian travel group is also impressed with the e-compact and lets us know about it.
It's really good for big cities because we have a lot of cars today, and this is small. You can parking, more cars parking. You can have less pollution. I think it's very good for the big cities. It's a solution.
After several kilometers, it's time to fill her up, or rather, charge her up. When the weather's nice, that can be done in the open air. The problem is to find the nearest charging station. The solution is offered by the Vehicle Homepage app. It keeps the driver in constant touch with the car and provides information about the battery's state of charge and expected range. The smartphone guides the driver to the station, and the charging process can commence. In Germany, the eSmart lists at 26,770 euros, batteries included. The price covers a 55-kilowatt electric engine that can accelerate from 0 to 60 kilometers an hour in 4.8 seconds with no gear shift delay. Recharging is at least as easy as filling up with gas. The driver just has to get the cable out of the trunk. The driver opens the lid, plugs in the cable, and connects the other end to the charging station. Payment is by mobile phone or by inserting coins. A full charge can last 140 kilometers. This car tester looks for good pickup in an electric car. This car accelerates brilliantly, applying all the available power right away, so it can start off at a green light like a jackrabbit. A surprise for anyone who sees it's an electric-powered vehicle. He can have a lot of fun with a really fast car. This one is nicely compact and highly maneuverable, ideal for city driving. It has a range of 140 kilometers on city streets, and that ought to be satisfactory. His first impression is a very positive one. Even the Fortwo electric drive can get stuck in city traffic. One solution is not at all new. What is new is the electric drive. In this case, a hybrid with conventional pedal power, offered by the Smart e-bike. It's lightweight, ergonomic, and fun. As a pedelec, the e-bike combines the comfort of a motor with the nimble handling of a normal bicycle. Bicycle expert Bjorn Gertheis predicts more and more of these bikes on city streets in the future. An advantage is that it can take you wherever you want to go without too much effort, especially in the inner city, he says. The future belongs to the e-bike. Depending on the riding conditions, the Smart e-bike's battery can cover up to 100 kilometers without recharging. The Electro Smarts are also about saving money. With power costs rising again, consumers should do the math and decide for themselves which is better and cheaper, the e-car or the e-bike. Audi presents the new SQ5 SUV. It boasts a 3-liter 230-kilowatt TDI engine with 650 Newton-meters of torque. Fuel consumption is rated at 7.2 liters per 100 kilometers. The Audi SQ5 will be hitting German showroom floors in early 2013, listing at a base price of 58,500 euros. The reworked design of the BMW 7 Series. New, full LED headlights, a shinier, bigger kidney grille, and a modified lower intake. It's available starting in late June in gasoline, diesel, and hybrid versions. The BMW 7 Hybrid list price starts at 89,300 euros in Germany. Alfa Romeo, an automatic transmission, and two worlds collide. Manual shifting was always a point of honor in Fiat's sporty mid-range cars. Now Alfa is trying an experiment to make driving more comfortable with TCT, or twin clutch transmission. One clutch operates the even-numbered gears, the other the odd-numbered. Gear changes are seamless, and there's no loss of torque or traction. The driver controls an engine management system for additional sportiness. Our car tester Patrick Simon likes the choices offered by Alfa's DNA system, which stands for Dynamic, Natural, and All-Weather. This makes the Giulietta handle like two different cars. The press of a button makes the accelerator and steering more responsive, solid, and sportier. This is just what gives Alfa Romeo great hopes for the Giulietta. It's designed to steer the customer's emotions. And that starts with a smart design. In Italian, Giulietta is the diminutive form of Giulia. The new model has little in common with the boxy look of its earlier namesake. Now, soft, round lines dominate. And once again, Alfa's designers have proven their skill at creating extraordinary emotional cars. Leather, piano lacquer, and burnished brush aluminum give the Giulietta sporty elegance. The dashboard has a strong horizontal orientation and does without an elaborate central console. The number of switches and buttons is kept pleasantly low. The 2.0 JTDM-2 motor is powerful. The Giulietta makes it fun to take curves. In fact, the car's performance is thoroughly pleasing, if only the car didn't still have some childhood diseases. Patrick says they make him want to call out to the Italian makers. Haven't you noticed people have gotten bigger? Don't you think a sporty Alfa Romeo seat ought to provide a bit of side support? This model has good-looking leather side bolsters with decorative seams, but they don't offer enough support. The Giulietta we tested has a top speed of 218 kilometers an hour. 125 kilowatts are enough for a sporty feel, and that at a fuel consumption of merely 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers. But ultimately, the love between our tester and Giulietta was not to be. Patrick is enthralled by the DNA system, which makes the steering taut and coaxes top performance out of the engine. But he's very disappointed in the chassis, which he says should have been sportier as well. He wishes the Giulietta were more consistent, but he concedes that Alfa Romeo makes beautiful cars.
Sie können einfach wunderschöne Autos bauen.
Each year, a very special antique car show is held at the famous Hotel Villa d'Este on the shores of Lake Como. People come to the Concorso d'Eleganza to see and be seen. It's a meeting place for the rich, the super rich, and the beautiful. But it's the classic and vintage cars that really steal the show. Some 52 vehicles representing 9 decades of automotive history are on display. The old cars are divided into 9 classes with colorful titles like The Art of Streamlining, Graceful Open-Air Style, and Heroes of Le Mans. Many cars are flown in from overseas, like this Chrysler Town & Country, which has a very interesting history.
This car was originally owned by Warner Brothers Studio in California. I'm the 3rd owner of the car after that. And they used it in Our Gang comedy and also in the Charlie Chan movies of that period in the 1940s. They were very popular at that period. And so In that movie, the number 2 son was driving this car.
This Tatra 87, built in 1939, has a different story to tell, one that's far less glamorous. Its owner says around 6 years ago, he was at the Retromobile car show in Paris when someone told him about an old wreck for sale near the French-Belgian border. So he drove there. It really was an old wreck, but he bought it anyway. He brought it to Hovšanice, home of the old Tatra factory. Karol Pavlu worked together with a car restoration workshop there to restore the car. And here's the result.
Und die Zusammenarbeit, wir haben, das ist das Resultat.
At the Concorso d'Eleganza, there's polished chrome everywhere you look, even under the hood. The interiors of some vehicles look as if they've never been sat in. It's a sign that such cars are strictly for show.
I think I have 17 miles on it since 1981. I mean, I drive it. It gets here from the garage here.
Of course, some of the cars here aren't even allowed on the roads, while others get regular workouts. Like this 1922 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, the oldest car on the grounds. Its owner says his car will never be loaded onto a trailer unless it breaks down, and that's never happened once in 15 years. He's driven it in rallies in Tunisia and Morocco, as well as around Spain, the south of France, England, of course, Scotland and Ireland, places that make for pleasant drives. Clearly, Rolls-Royces like this were built to last. But at the Concorso d'Eleganza, beauty is more than skin deep. The cars are thoroughly examined by a jury of experts, and the best ones honored. It's not an easy task, as all the cars here are truly extraordinary. The criteria are very strict. Most importantly, cars must be in original condition or restored to their original state. But how do people get to show off their cars here? Manfred Grunert from BMW says people can fill out a form and apply. It's important to have a FIFA ID card from the Fédération Internationale des Véhicules Anciens. They classify vehicles, and those with the right classification qualify to participate. Then he says the application is evaluated by the selecting committee. Grunert notes that someone might have a fantastic vehicle, but if it doesn't fit into the classes chosen this year, and they must tell people to try again next year. After the selection process is over, the 52 chosen entrants are notified, and they can come here. A vehicle's monetary worth isn't really a deciding factor. As well as vintage models, the Concorso d'Eleganza is also a showcase for concept cars. Manfred Grunert explains that in the late 1920s and early 1930s, the Concorso was an event for car bodybuilders to show off their latest models to wealthy clients. This is no longer the case today, but Grunert says they display concept cars that serve a similar function, to win over the clients of tomorrow. Established design studios like Giugiaro show off their concepts alongside vehicles from car makers like Lexus. But newcomers like Rimac Automobile are here too. The Croatian firm is showing off its fully electric super sports car called Concept One, which can go 300 kilometers an hour and has a 600-kilometer range. Mate Rimac says electric cars are usually the result of attempts to reduce running costs. But his firm makes electric cars for another reason, to revolutionize the sports car. His goal is to build the best sports car there's ever been. This car has 4 electric motors that power one wheel each. He says this ensures even distribution of power. So a car like this opens up new possibilities when taking corners. And he adds that drivers can set the car to drive neutrally, to oversteer or understeer, however they want. The Concorso d'Eleganza is a show that gives us a glimpse of the future of personal mobility, as well as the past.